No, wait. All right, Kelly, when you're ready.
All right. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So last night, I was watching Clean House on the Style Network. Some of you may know that show. Some of you may not. I watch it a lot. I love that channel. But the one house that was being featured had one room that was really cluttered, and the majority of the clutter was paper or books. And instead of bringing in a recycling bin, the host brought in a paper shredder, and the owner of the house didn't object to it. She just went along with it. So I was like, okay, what happened to recycling? Like, nobody recycles anymore? So after I watched the whole episode, I thought about it, and I was like, what really happens to all the waste of the products that we buy now? So that's why today we're going to be talking about how each one of you can become an ecologically responsible consumer. The areas of interest we will be looking at today is the effect of insufficient consuming. I will be offering different purchasing and disposal options and the benefits of new habits. So what's a big deal? The Environmental Protection Agency says that one person produces 4.6 pounds of trash daily, 4/5 of a ton of trash annually, and in 2006 there was a reported 251 million pounds of trash. And also, our carbon footprint, which is increasing, has also led to an increasing climate problem. Now, some of you may not know what a carbon footprint is. I know that it's been in the news a lot with going green, everything. So a carbon footprint measures the impact of our activities on our environment. It focuses mainly on greenhouse gases, and there are two parts of it. The first part is called the primary footprint, and it is composed of direct CO2 emissions from fossil fuels, like transmissions from our cars or buses. And the second part is called the secondary footprint, which is composed of the indirect CO2 emissions from products we use, like hairspray or spray paint or any aerosol cans that we may use. And I have a chart of a breakdown of a typical person's carbon footprint. As you can see, the main problem is share of public services, which is 12%, and gas, oil, and coal, which are fossil fuels from, like I said before, transportation, which makes up 15%. The other leading causes are recreation and leisure, electricity, which is at 14% and 12% respectively. And other things include like food and drink, which may contribute, like there's plastic bottles or there's plastic cups or straws, public transportation, and household such as building and furnishings. Now I have a clip from the video about the average American consumption and what happens to our waste called The Human Footprint. It was aired by National Geographic on April 16, 2008. So as you can see, we throw out a lot of trash. As I recall, there's one person is equivalent to 4 trucks. So what really happens to the trash that we throw out? Well, 55% of our trash goes to a landfill to be buried. And I say buried because it is layers upon layers of trash. And since it's just layers, it's just sitting there, there is hardly any decomposition because there's a lack of water that would need to get in there. And it leaks harmful liquids into the groundwater. And it releases 1/4 of the count of our methane gas. And I have a not so lovely picture of a landfill. If it doesn't go to a landfill, it goes to an incinerator. 12.5 of our trash goes here. to be burned and turned into ash to make roads or concrete, or it goes back to the landfill, which makes no sense to me. And it produces nitrogen oxide and sulfur dioxide. So you may be thinking, well, this seems like a really big problem. What can I do about it? And I don't really want to make any drastic changes, but there are slight options, smaller options that you can make, such as adopting new habits. One person can use old t-shirts to replace paper towels. You can rewash them, reuse them, instead of buying paper towels and wasting money and throwing them out. And you can use filtered water pitchers, such as Brita. I know I have one at home. Instead of buying tons of plastic bottles, you can use travel mugs for your coffee, or you can use sports water bottles when you want a bottle of water to take with you. But if you're not really up for that, I would advise you to please buy environmentally safe products such as Poland Springs water. I know they recently cut down the percentage of plastic they use to make their bottles. Or what is up and coming now, I know we can't afford it, but you can buy hybrid cars which cut down 25 to 35% of emissions. And the simplest way of helping our environment is recycling. We have a recycling rate of 32.5%, and it reduces energy needed to produce similar items. It decreases the energy by 95%, which means it only takes 5% to produce an item from recycled plastic. It conserves natural materials, and it reduces pollution and landfill counts. So, what's in it for me? You save money, and I know we all like to save money, myself included. One bottle or can or newspaper can save years of environmental damage. It provides jobs. 10,000 tons of waste creates one job for incinerating. 10,000 tons of waste creates 6 jobs for landfilling, and 10,000 tons waste creates 36 jobs for recycling. And I got that from Peace Butler Corporation website. You get a feeling of being a productive member of society, and you set positive examples for younger generations. I know I got all my recycling habits from my mom. So I'm going to leave you with a quote that says, "Green has to be a process, not a single achievement," by Barbara Quinn, a journalist for pollutionengineering.com. And this quote means that it's great that you threw that plastic bottle in the recycling can, or that you bought environmentally safe cleanser for your house, but that one action doesn't really make a difference. In order to make a difference, you have to continue with those steps to help our environment. So, that's it.
Questions for Kelly?
The last thing when you said it doesn't really make a difference, I got this off at EcoBreath, and it's like the same thing, it's about recycling, and like she said that you're supposed to tell people that even if the slightest thing does make a difference, or they could do it more and more and more.
Well,
And the thing with the methane gas, so they use that for like making energy and stuff. So I watched a documentary that like they had a little plastic boom bag over it and just concentrate it.
I agree with you. You know, people should recycle, and like those options you have are really good. Just my biggest pet peeve when people say go green is, what are we supposed to do with all that garbage then? Well, we throw it away.
see, when I was doing my research, one of the sites said that the biggest problem is the companies that produce their products, that they should step up their game and make environmentally safe, like containers or stuff, so that we don't have to deal with the waste. Say, if, like Poland Springs is doing, like they stepped up their game, stuff like that. If they make it slightly easier for us, then that will cut down the waste. Like, you know